I haven't updated you guys on the Hilux in a while. We've had a lot of other things going on. We had some holiday trips over December. We've been working on the Isuzu. We're planning the whole new year of exciting trips and adventures ahead. And I thought, you know what, why don't I give you a rundown of what we've been up to on the vehicle for the past couple months? Because we've touched on a couple different topics. So we've looked at doing the turbo has been replaced. We have remapped the vehicle. We've changed the tires. We've changed the rear seat configuration. We've taken the seats out and things like that. So there's a lot of things we've been doing to try and get the fuel economy of the vehicle better. The Namibia trip was quite eye-opening for me because I got to see and realize just how heavy the vehicle is. Yes, we had similar issue with the Jimny. We're obviously loading it full of accessories and all that stuff. It's going to get heavy. But the vehicle handled pretty well. It drove pretty well. But when it was full up on extra diesel, full up on water, 3 passengers, it was a lot. So I'm trying to get the vehicle in a space where I can get better fuel consumption and it can handle and perform really well. So if I think of, I was getting 14.6 liters per 100 as an average for the Namibia trip. I think now over the December holidays, we did a trip to the Kruger National Park, through the Kruger National Park and back, and averaged about 11.5 liters per 100. So the difference is significant. It's almost 30% saving on fuel. So that, what did I change? A big thing is we changed the tires. So we've swapped now to an all-terrain tire. We're running the General Grabber AT3s on there. I think it's a really solid tire. This is the XL profile. So it actually has much tougher sidewalls than the traditional version of the tire, but it is more expensive. So I paid about, I think it's about $3.5 a tire or something. So it's in the territory of a BFG. It's in the territory of, almost in the territory of like Coopers and stuff like that. And I just thought I wanted to try something different. And it's been really, really good. The noise in the cabin has dropped dramatically. I can now actually listen to the radio. The mud tires were super loud and super noisy. The fuel consumption was high. And they were really specialized tires, and I just wasn't getting to use them in the way that I anticipated I would be with the vehicle. So I thought it was, let's change, let's swap to what's really practical and makes sense for my usage of the vehicle. And that is what's kind of happening with a lot of the changes on the vehicle over the next few steps. So I want to show you first, before we look at the turbo and the remap and all that stuff, I want to show you what I've done in the rear of the vehicle, because that's pretty cool. It's still a work in progress, but it's been a fun kind of change of pace and a change of using the space correctly. The rear has changed a lot. Obviously, the rear seats are out. I've had to put a bit of sound deadening and stuff on the back wall here because it was just, a bit tinny. And we've got a rear seat delete in the back here. So there's a platform from Bushtech that's kind of gone in the back here, and that has replaced the seats. It's given me a nice flat platform. I've put on a bit of a false floor here. We'll be working on a frame to kind of, do some extra storage here as well. This is going to basically just open up to, I've got my cameras and my jackery is moved to here, so I can keep touch of charging up my batteries for the cameras. The cameras are nearby, but they're still secure if the car is locked up and things like that. And then actually I've done something a bit crazy here, and I'm sure there's going to be some, people who might not agree with what I've done here, but basically I have my spare tire in here underneath this platform. It's a full spare with the rim. This is what was on the roof rack before. Now I've decided to remove the front roof rack to help me with the fuel consumption. So I have lost a bit of that practical space up there, but I think I've gained a lot of practical space back here. Basically, full-size spare here keeps the center of gravity much lower, so I don't have that, 30-something, 40 kilos on the roof busy, affecting the handling and the dynamics of the vehicle. Then what I'm going to do is, obviously, for Namibia, we used a spare wheel carrier on the back. I'm back to my standard one, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fit the normal spare wheel carrier underneath the long-range tank there. I had to remove that last time, so that's why I've been putting the spare wheel on the roof. So now I've got this sorted, and I'm going to have that sorted. So the center of gravity on all those tires and all the extra heavy bits is all going to be low, and I think it's going to make quite a big difference to the overall handling of the vehicle. We want to keep the heavy weight as close to between the axles as possible, or as close to the axle as possible. So I think in that case, having the spare wheel carrier underneath the long-range tank where it normally sits, versus on a spare wheel carrier, which then puts the weight way back, I really felt that affect the dynamics and the handling of the vehicle, having the spare wheel carrier on. So I want to try and avoid that if possible. And the only way I see avoiding keeping all the big heavy tires and stuff, you know, away from outside and overhanging parts of the vehicle is to put it inside here. So it is ratchet strapped down to this platform. The platform is bolted down into the seat positions. And if you think about it, these seats are designed to handle people, which weigh more than 40 kilograms. So that should be plenty of strength if the car does roll over in whatever scenario, whatever, you know, it should be able to handle it fine. It should stay in position. And then obviously what I have here, this is actually a platform that is from the drawer system, which actually fits in here, because you can fit a 90-litre fridge in the back here, but you can't open it. So I know that the fridge fits. So this is actually from where my fridge is currently in the drawer system. This is the cover for that. So that I've got wedged in here. It's just literally the chair pushing it back, and it's being pushed into the back here. It's nice and simple. If I need to remove it to access the tire, it's literally I kick the chair forward and I move the platform out. So there's no bolts, there's no nothing, it's just held in with friction. And really the only thing that I use this space for is to put bags and light stuff anyway. So all the heavy stuff or anything that's significant, like the jackery for example, it's quite a mass, that is going to be actually secured down and underneath this platform. So that things can't just go flying around the back here. So that is going to be secured. We are going to work on having that in a nice way. If I want to put some ammo boxes and stuff on here, this can actually fit an ammo box or two, and then this will be able to, I'll be able to secure them down if need be. So basically this has given me a lot more room to play around in the back. It's actually a very cool change that we've made, and I've quite enjoyed it. I've really liked it. Now I'm like, oh, next vehicle I get, I'm going to get an extra cab or something like that. So I've enjoyed having the extra room at the back here. So another thing that, you know, obviously I mentioned earlier is I've removed the roof rack. So I need to come up with a bit of, you know, some ideas for some extra space. It's lovely having the roof rack. I do enjoy having it up there and stuff, but I'm just trying to prioritize certain things. And I think it's, you know, it's a good way to go, to prioritize getting good fuel consumption. Diesel has gone to 21 Rand a litre at the moment in South Africa. So it is incredibly expensive to travel. And, you know, if I've dropped my fuel cost by a third with all the changes, it makes a big difference at the end of the day. Anyways, let's head over to the engine bay and I'm going to walk you through some of the changes we've made there. Some sneaky things that happened underneath here is basically we had to rebuild the turbo. While I was on the Namibia trip, I just felt like the car just didn't have the oomph it usually had. And we just heard a few weird noises out of it and some things like that, and we just thought, you know what, let's bring it in. So we brought it here to Land Cruiser Heaven. Ramon had a look at it, and it was pretty badly worn. We decided instead of replacing it, you know, try and look at something that's a bit more kind of budget friendly and actually go and do a hybrid turbo. So it got rebuilt and reconditioned beautifully. And I'll put some pictures up so you can see the kind of before and the after of what's, you know, what that kind of looks like. And obviously by doing that, you're going to be able to boost it a little bit more, get a bit more out of the turbo and out of the motor. So the only way you're really going to be able to get the most out of it is then to take it and get it remapped. So we got it remapped, and I must say it has unlocked a huge amount of power out of the vehicle. It's been amazing actually. It cruises beautifully. I just set the cruise control to 120 and this thing just steam trains through, and that had really started to fade. You know, the months before, I was really having to just foot flat to get the car to go. It would lose a lot of speed on hills. So it was really amazing to get that power back and to get more power back. So that's been really awesome. Now my recent trips over December and stuff, I mean, doing Cape Town to Joburg Drive, it was amazing because normally I'd have to really think about overtaking, and now the overtaking was simple, you know. So it's literally just, you know, kick back and go. So that's been really nice. I've seen a good impact on the fuel consumption, especially on the open road. Around town, she's a bit thirsty, but I mean, that's the only way you're going to get more power is more air and more diesel. So that's kind of how it goes. But cruising on the open road sits in sixth at like 1,800 RPM and just cruises beautifully. So my fuel consumption has gone down dramatically on the open road. So there we're sitting at around 11.5 on a long long drive like to Cape Town or something, and then I'm getting about 12 and a half combined, highway and around town, and then purely around town, it was around 14 and a half. So it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's much better than what I was getting, that's for sure. And it feels better. It feels more confident on the road, which is really nice. If I put my foot down, it goes. And that's been really good to have. Really been putting the power brakes to good use. So that's been, I must say, that's been a huge improvement on the vehicle. So otherwise, yeah, we're getting ready to make some pretty big changes on the car. So that's going to happen probably in the next episode. But we've taken everything out of the canopy. The draw system is going to be getting replaced. We are upgrading the dual battery system. We're putting in lithium. We're doing a bunch of things. So basically the new draw system is going to be 30 kilos lighter. The lithium battery is going to be about, I think, 15 to 18 kilos lighter. The new battery system we're putting in is going to be pretty epic. I'm really excited to kind of show you guys that. It's very, very cool. It's very cool. It's going to be a bit of a shift from what you're used to, but it's going to be epic, really epic. So we're adding in then, I think we got a new air compressor we're going to be putting in. We're going to be doing a bunch of things. So yeah, definitely hang around. Make sure to subscribe, comment down below to let me know what you think of some of the changes we've made. If you've done a turbo and a map on your car, let me know a bit of your experience. Let me know what you think of the rear seat changes. It's been a big one for me, and it's been really cool to kind of play around with and stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas on how to get the weight of the vehicle down and how to tweak the overlanding setup a little bit, obviously I've got certain restrictions. I've got partnerships with companies to use a lot of their equipment and stuff, so I'm kind of tied with some of those things, but I'm going to try and be as sensible as possible with my approach on bringing the weight of the vehicle down, and hopefully for the next big trip you guys are going to see the kind of whole complete setup, and I can give you some feedback on that. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers.